The best designer bags from Paris Fashion Week Spring 2026. Welcome to Luxify. We talk about fashion, luxury, and basically all the best things life has to offer. Welcome to our video about the best designer bags from Paris Fashion Week Spring 2026. Paris Fashion Week Spring 2026 is a turning point. This season, several major houses are debuting new creative directors who are redefining their aesthetic from the inside out. Under this wave of change, we're seeing fresh handbag silhouettes, reimagined house codes, and bold accessory statements that point to the next era in luxury design. So, without further ado, here are the best designer bags from Paris Fashion Week Spring 2026. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe. Valentino. Now in his 7th collection for Valentino, Michel seems to have entered a new phase, shedding some of his earlier maximalist tendencies and finding a more distilled expression of his vision. Guests received glow-in-the-dark fireflies, a nod to Pasolini's metaphor of light surviving through darkness, which Michel embraced through a spoken-word prologue by Pamela Anderson. The message was clear: in uncertain times, fashion can still be a beacon. And this time, Michel delivered that idea through a surprisingly pared-back approach, focusing on blouses and skirts or trousers in bold color pairings like peacock blue and chartreuse, and playing with rich fabrics from georgette to velvet. Evening wear traded Michel's signature maximalism for asymmetric draping and strong, saturated hues, creating a sense of quiet elegance rather than spectacle. The finale, where models gathered under pulsing lights evoking fireflies, was both poetic and powerful, signaling Michel's evolution. As for the bags, they were an evolution of his work so far. Both the vein and the D-vein bags were showed in different iterations with the classic V logo. The Panthea bag, first showed in Michel's last collection, is back again in the spotlight, in different colors and materials. There were some new top handles with the iconic Valentino rock studs, and also a new bucket, embodying the fun style of this new Valentino. This collection felt less like a radical departure and more like a refinement of his vision, aligning Valentino's romanticism with his own distinctive, idealistic voice. Celine. Michael Ryder took Celine out of the Parisian chaos this season and into the peaceful Parc de Saint-Cloud, setting the stage for a show that felt both refreshing and intentional. This was the first real opportunity for many to experience his vision up close, and it didn't disappoint. Ryder pulled from the brand's rich history, think the confident femininity of Phoebe Philo's era and the rock and roll edge of Hedi Slimane, blending those influences with his own distinctly clean, American-inflected sense of polish. The result was a collection that balanced sharp tailoring and practicality with subtle elegance, from perfectly cut trousers to silk scarves reimagined as rugby shirts and shoulder bags. Ryder emphasized wardrobe staples over theatrical statements, underscoring Celine's reputation as a house built on wearable sophistication. Accessories stayed true to the house's DNA while feeling modern, and even cycling helmets made an appearance, nodding to Paris's evolving lifestyle. There were many oversized bags, from bucket to hobos and shoulder bags. Top handles and even basket bags also made an appearance, showing the elegant and edgy style of Celine. With this show, Ryder made it clear that Celine isn't chasing trends, it's defining an everyday elegance that feels both classic and current. Balenciaga. Pierpaolo Piccioli's debut at Balenciaga was nothing short of historic. After years of controversy under former creative director Demna, this moment marked a striking shift for the house. Beauty is finally back at Balenciaga. Piccioli chose to present his first collection right at the brand's headquarters, signaling both a return to roots and a bold new chapter. Drawing inspiration from Cristobal Balenciaga's 1957 sack dress, he embraced radical simplicity and human-centered design, blending his signature couture volumes and vibrant colors with the house's architectural heritage. The runway opened with a poetic nod to the sack, followed by a series of looks that merged minimalism and maximalism: balloon skirts, vivid cocoon coats, flowing tunics, and reimagined classics with couture precision. While he honored the legacies of Demna and Nicolas Ghesquière, Piccioli's vision was distinctly his own: elegant, elevated, and emotionally resonant. Gone were the meme-ready hoodies and oversized gimmicks. In their place came sweeping evening wear, sculpted tailoring, and playful twists on everyday pieces like bombers and chinos. The Balenciaga City bag was showed in many beautiful colors, and how amazing it is to be able to simply appreciate the bag without the Demna connection. There were many shoulder bags in suede, and also some elegant top handles that perfectly represent the new and polished Balenciaga. With celebrities in the audience but the spotlight firmly on the clothes, Piccioli delivered a collection that redefined the house's future: optimistic, refined, and unapologetically beautiful, finally. Hermès. Hermès took us to the wild south of France this season, drawing inspiration from the rugged beauty of the Camargue. Creative director Nadège Van Hey translated the region's equestrian spirit into a refined yet bohemian urban wardrobe, blending practicality with sensuality. Inspired by a traditional Camargue saddle from the house's archives, she introduced leather harnesses layered over bandeaus, crisp shirts, and quilted silk twill jackets in earthy tones of brown, sand, olive, and red. There was a subtle but undeniable erotic charge throughout, this time more pronounced than in past seasons, with skin-bearing looks and sculpted corsetry giving classic Hermès codes a provocative twist. The house's iconic scarf prints, reimagined from an archival 80s design, appeared across shirts, bra tops, and pencil skirts, while quilting became a recurring motif, linking back to the saddle inspiration. Of course, the bag lineup did not disappoint. The most reoccurring silhouette of the collection was the hobo. It appeared in form of a new bag with a hook clasp in the So Kelly hobo, originally designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier for Hermès' Fall 2008 collection, and a horsebit hobo with an equestrian-inspired touch. The iconic Kelly was showed in two iterations, the Kelly Dance and the Kelly Multi-Pochette to Go. The Birkin was showed in beautiful suede, showing the material can also be worn in the warmer months, and also in the popular Birkin à l'envers version, with the inside-out silhouette. The Tablier Cellier and the Derby bag bring a practical and wearable edge to Spring-Summer 26. This collection perfectly balanced that enduring appeal with a fresh sense of freedom and modern sensuality. Givenchy. Sarah Burton's sophomore outing at Givenchy proved she's settling into the house with precision and confidence. Her debut had already captured the industry's attention, and this collection built beautifully on that momentum. She's still focused on establishing a clear silhouette for the brand, but this time she softened the exaggerated tailoring that defined her first season, stripping away inner canvases to give jackets the ease of cardigans. The effect was powerful, yet feminine. Lapels peeled away to reveal delicate straps, skirts sat low on the hips like bolts of wrapped fabric, and mesh dresses and sharp mules channeled Marilyn Monroe-esque allure through a modern lens. The standout bag of the collection was a new East-West version of the classic Antigona, showed with metallic charms for a fun touch. The bag charms were a theme throughout the collection. It also appeared in a new barrel bag and a bucket. The pinch, first showed in the last fall collection, is back once more and bound to be super popular in 2026. This collection wasn't about shock or gimmicks. It was about refining a vision of empowered femininity that feels distinctly her own, while positioning Givenchy firmly back in the spotlight. If you are enjoying this video so far, please subscribe to my channel so we can continue to bring you the best content about fashion and luxury living. Loewe. Jack McCullough and Lázaro Hernandez's debut at Loewe was nothing short of electric. The Prensa scholar duo, who quietly left their own New York label earlier this year, stepped into one of Europe's oldest luxury houses with a grin and a game plan, Spanishness, craft, and a distinctly New York sensibility. Shown in a custom-built space behind the Université de Paris, their first collection was playful yet technically impressive. A spirited mix of glossy bell-shaped leather jackets, layered scarf dresses with raw ruffled seams, and sportswear staples like jeans and tees, reimagined entirely in leather. They didn't just tweak the classics, they shredded, pleated, spray-painted, and even 3D printed them, blending artisanal tradition with tech-driven experimentation. As for bags, they introduced a new Amazona with a single top handle in suede, leather, or croc, big enough to hold a laptop but relaxed enough to feel like you're dashing through the subway. The flamenco also made the rounds, as did a new oversized bucket bag, both showed in rich and colorful hues. But if you ask me, the standout pieces of the collection were the clutches. Fun, stylish, and playful, they showed the clear new vision of the brand. It's that unmistakable New York energy meeting Spanish heritage craftsmanship. Their joyful, hands-on approach brought a fresh dynamic to the brand, signaling a vibrant new chapter for the house. Chloé. Kemena Kamali infused her Chloé collection with a refreshing sense of lightness and spontaneity. Drawing inspiration from Gaby Aguillon's early work in the 1950s and 60s, she revisited the bubbly couture shapes of the brand's beginnings, but stripped away the petticoats and stiffness to create something airy and modern. Her starting point was vintage 60s prints, riotous florals, and splashy motifs, which she draped, pleated, and knotted into fluid dresses and skirts that felt joyful and easy. Accessories echoed the playful mood, with bags inspired by retro swimming caps reimagined in form of drawstring pouches. There were also some hard-shell clutches and shoulder bags, echoing the playful spirit of the brand. Later in the show, Kamali shifted into more classic Chloé territory, with earthy tones and relaxed silhouettes, reaffirming her mission to evolve the house's identity without losing its romantic spirit. Louis Vuitton. Nicolas Ghesquière once again turned the Louvre into his personal stage, this time choosing the restored summer apartments of Queen Anne of Austria as the setting for Louis Vuitton's Spring 2026 show. The grand frescoed ceilings and marble floors set a serene yet majestic tone, perfectly matching the designer's concept of intimacy and dressing for oneself, a theme that ran through the entire collection. Unlike his past theatrics with 18th-century frock coats and sneakers or panniered dresses under chandeliers, this season felt softer and more inward-looking, drawing inspiration as much from interiors as from historical costume. Delicate camisoles, silk robes, and slip dresses hinted at centuries-old silhouettes, but modern craftsmanship took center stage. Brushed silk mimicking fur, impressionist-like beaded fringe, and wooden discs tracing clean seams. As for the bags, we saw some classic Louis Vuitton silhouettes with a twist. The most reoccurring shapes were cosmetic pouches, echoing the travel heritage of the Maison. Some beloved classic returned, like the Speedy and the soft trunk. The new Express bag is back, proving how popular it will be in 2026. It was a deeply poetic take on luxury, proving that Louis Vuitton can be both opulent and deeply personal. Dior. Jonathan Anderson's debut at Dior was one of the most anticipated shows of the season, and he made sure to lean into that pressure rather than avoid it. Known for his ability to reframe the past in surprising ways, Anderson didn't shy away from Dior's icons. He toyed with the bar jacket, shrunk to childlike proportions in green Donegal tweed, and opened with a striking white crinoline dress that immediately set the tone for his blend of reverence and rebellion. Throughout the collection, Anderson explored the tension between tradition and modernity with playful wit and conceptual sharpness. Tricorn hats met tuxedos with denim minis, butterfly wing lace dresses nodded to Dior's Cigale gown, and cargo trousers paired with dramatic lace collars created striking, almost cinematic silhouettes. He injected casual elements like polo shirts and jeans into the couture lexicon without diluting its power. Anderson reimagined the Lady Dior into a more casual and soft bowling-shaped bag in suede. He also presented hobo bags in suede that blend the brand's heritage with Anderson's casual spirit. The newness came in form of a top handle with a folded silhouette and a bow in the front that is both feminine in a classic Dior sense and also modern. Even with only 2 months to prepare, Anderson delivered a debut that felt daring, intelligent, and delightfully unpredictable, signaling that Dior is entering an exciting new era. Miu Miu. Miuccia Prada took a sharp left turn this season at Miu Miu, trading the aristocratic fantasies of Marie Antoinette for something far grittier: the aprons of working women. The set resembled a factory canteen, complete with red rubberized floors and the faint scent of cleaning products, a fitting backdrop for a collection that celebrated the overlooked labor behind fashion and society at large. The show began with utilitarian leather aprons, cotton pinafores, canvas tool belts, and sturdy boots. Uniforms for invisible workforces like factory workers, cleaners, and homemakers. These references then transformed, with aprons reimagined in sheer lace, dark, ruffled taffeta, and leather, blurring the line between function and fetish. As for the bags, we saw some classic Miu Miu staples, but Miuccia exchanged the iconic matelassé for a summer-worthy weaved leather that resembles wicker. The beloved Wander bag was showed in smooth leather and woven leather versions. The bow was oversized, stylish, and presented again in woven, smooth, and wrinkled leather. The Adventure was showed in shoulder bag versions and the pocket in oversized functional variations, echoing the theme of the collection. As Prada herself noted, the challenge was translating these deeply personal and historical garments into something beautiful and relevant, and she succeeded with her signature intellect and irony. Chanel. After months of anticipation, Matteo Blasi finally unveiled his debut Chanel collection under the glowing planetary orbs of the Grand Palais, and it did not disappoint. As only the 4th designer to lead the house in its 115-year history, Blasi faced sky-high expectations, but he delivered a collection that felt both reverent and refreshingly forward-looking. His approach began in the archives, focusing on Coco Chanel's rule-breaking use of menswear tailoring and the iconic codes of the house: the tweed jacket, the little black dress, the camellia, but reimagining them through his signature lens of technical innovation and ease. His tweeds, now woven with viscose for lightness, felt airy and modern. His low-slung trousers and jersey details referenced Chanel's roots in menswear and underwear, injecting a sense of cool, lived-in authenticity. Gone were red carpet gowns instead. Satin tees met feathered ball skirts, cap-toe shoes peeked out, and everything spoke to modern versatility. Even the classic 255 bag got a subtle update, with malleable wired flaps designed to look cherished rather than pristine. They were sported open on the runway in multiple colors. The classic flap also made the rounds in oversized versions in smooth leather, quilted versions in suede, and even one version that was fur-lined. There were many beautiful clutches, some fun and whimsical, others classic and elegant. Among tote, shoulder, and frame bags, you could see the archival inspiration of the collection, showing how the designer plans to honor the history of the house while infusing his own signature. This collection might come as a shock to some Chanel devotees, but it's exactly what the house needed: a reinvention, a jolt of freshness and modernity that only Blazy could bring. Let us know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Comment below which brands you would like to know more about. And make sure to check out my video about the future it bags of 2026. Thank you for spending some time with us, and make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. In return, we'll provide you the best content about fashion, travel, and luxury living. See you soon!